जी जी. Hi Rajiv ji, Kamal here from Mera and a warm welcome to you today once again on our show Chat in Chai.
Thank you, Kamalji. Pranam. How are you?
Thank you Rajiv ji, and how about you?
All good, Ji. All good. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, we have a few queries like always from our listeners here, Rajiv ji on Mera
Yes, ma'am.
The first one here says, I am a resident here in the United States. I did my post graduation from the US. Thereafter, I went on to work for a company. I've been here for the last 5 years and I now want to go back to India. I plan to get married in India. I just want to know how long would it take for me to get my spouse over to the United States?
Did he say that he's a green card holder?
No, he just said he's been here, he's been working for the last 5 years, and that he um, has been working for a company. He probably would be on an H-1 visa, that's what I assume.
The problem is we don't know the details. Chances are that he is on an H-1, and
Mm-hmm.
if you are on H-1 and you are going to get an H-4, it should be a matter of a day or maybe a couple of days, maybe a few days, but it should not take long. Note that I said if it is going to get granted because there is no guarantee an H-4 visa will be given.
Okay.
Consulates, what they do is sometimes, and this is almost, I call it almost like a legal hostage situation. What they'll
Mm-hmm.
do is when they want to get more facts on the H-1, they start raising them during an H-4 interview. For example, they'll say, prove that your husband is maintaining status, provide us information about his company. So the next thing is during the H-4, the whole H-1 is being reopened. It's not true for everyone, but it does happen. So there is no way we can guarantee that an H-4 will be an easy sailing, but it should be normally.
Okay, okay. Anyway, moving on to another question here, Rajivji. If you remember, we'd had a question last week from a listener who said that her husband is in the United States running a business and they wanted to get her brother over probably to work in their company. So we were not sure whether they were citizens. So she's mentioned back again, writing again that her husband is a US citizen. She hasn't as yet taken the or got the citizenship as yet. They have children who were born in the United States, and now since she wants to get her brother over on a work visa to work in her husband's company, who is a citizen of the US, would that really help to speed the matters?
I also remember that I had asked for what kind of company it was, how many people were employed there,
Okay.
what did they do, what does the brother do, is there a match between what the brother does and the company does the company have any branches outside USA? All those questions need to be
No, they
answered.
don't have a business outside the USA. They just run a business here in the US, and they say that yes, the criteria required to work in the company does match with that of the brother.
we,
That's all that
we still
yeah we've
don't
got.
know. We still don't know if it's a professional level job.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, if the company is running a restaurant and the brother is a chef or a cook, that's a different story altogether. If the company
Right,
is, for example, a software engineering or software development company and the brother is a software engineer, that's a totally different game. So
right.
it all depends upon you know, I wish sometimes that it would be so much easier if we could have people just call in and get
Mm-hmm.
a live conversation going because these things I cannot really talk about until I have this information. So please
Right.
get me that information as well.
Right. But presuming, Rajivji, let's say that the brother, like she mentioned, that the brother does match the criteria that is there, match with the criteria that in the business there, he just falls into the bracket there. Now, supposing that is the criteria, supposing he does fall into the criteria there, supposing everything just matches, then how would matters be?
Oh,
Would it really speed up?
I probably would recommend an H-1 followed by a green card, even though it's a little bit more difficult when your family owns the business. But that's definitely the way I would go.
Right, right.
Excuse me. Go
Uh,
ahead.
yes, yeah. Moving on to the next question, Rajivji. This is again about a US citizen who has been here for a pretty long time, is a citizen of the United States, is now planning to get married to a person who was residing in India. And he says after he gets married, one, how long would it take for his spouse to be over here in the United States? And two, would the spouse be able to come and work and convert her visa to an H-1?
Well, there are two ways to go about this. One is doing a K-1, a fiance visa, and then get married in USA. That's probably the quickest. The other one
Okay.
is to get married and then do a K-3 slash I-130 combo. That process should be wrapped up within a year. But it's difficult to predict these timings. Even a K1 could be close to a year almost because their processing times have gone up. But
Mm-hmm.
the processing times keep fluctuating. I would suggest you look at the processing times. You can go to USCIS website and try to locate it, or you can go to our website, immigration.com. In the right hand panel as well as in the bottom panel, you'll see a link to processing times. You can go in there and check the processing time of K1 as well as K3 visas as well as I-130. So that'll give you some idea of how much time it's going to take. And oh, by the way,
Yeah.
all these visas will lead to ultimately work authorization right away.
All right. Okay. Okay. So that would mean, would that be an H-1 visa after
No,
the
no,
work authorization permit is granted?
no. They are given. Well, if they come on K3 and K1, they are given work authorization. If the I-130 is approved and they come on green card, then they have a green card. So it's either work authorization or
Okay.
green card.
Okay. Okay. So Rajivji, these were the queries sent in by our listeners this week. Thank you once again for being a part of our show today and for giving out such detailed answers to the queries sent in.
Always a delight. Thank you so much.
Have a good day, Rajivji. Bye bye.
You too, ma'am. Pranam.
Pranam, Rajivji.